Hello everyone and welcome back to the Spearhead cast with me, Matt. I've done a little bit of a tweaking with the audio, just a slight bit reduction on the game audio. Hopefully it will not be too much. Let's go through the players. We have another match here on the new patch. It's an Eastern Front battle. Representing the Axis, we have Skirmishes as Ostdivision for the Wehrmacht. And we have Robertus as propaganda tactics for the Waffen-SS, so this should be a very fascinating choice, potentially. Meanwhile, for the Soviet Union, we have Mist Moon as Shock Division. And Roy Leutra, also Shock Division. Double shock against the Ost and propaganda. This should be very fascinating. Mostly because there's been a few changes to how the Sturmgewehrs work, as I think I mentioned before. I suppose we'll get to see that potentially in action. But actually, you don't get that many Sturmgewehrs as propaganda, so perhaps not. So we have a Volksgrenadier and Osttruppen coming out here for the Skirmishes to get some ground, and some Volkssturm being called in here to fight for the, fight for the Germans. I guess we're fighting somewhere in Eastern Germany near the end of the war, especially with double Soviet shock going in, so this is some pretty potent potential for the Soviets. Tapas getting the first shots fighting here on the Pioneers. Oh, yeah, he does have his before. He just didn't seem like it was on the model for a brief while.
Your orders, comrade.
So it's already spreading out to get some ground. Conscripts are opening fire. Waffen-SS has been able to secure their fuel up here. Volkssturm are grabbing behind. We also have a Sturmgrenadier holding the center here. Giving a pretty good squad available to all Waffen-SS commanders. It looks like the Volkssturm are just going to help provide some numbers a little bit early, but we haven't seen a lot of Volkssturm units being called in yet. Just this squad so far. They can merge, which is a very interesting ability for them to have. So they can, like, replenish your forces a lot easier and cheaper. Osttruppen are forming up here behind the haystacks. So the Soviets are trying to dig in. The firefights are going to happen soon, I feel. Volkssturm are slowly moving up. Oh, shots fired up there. And we might have an engagement down here shortly. Soviets are also trying to entrench a little bit. The firefights might proceed soon. Both sides are trying to entrench. Volksgrenadiers opening fire on the Soviets though. We have the Sturmgrenadiers trying to get to a new position here to get some flanking shots in. But that's the cover is directional, remember that. And again, the conscripts suck at aiming, so... Volkssturm moving up here to throw a grenade, I think? Oh, they're throwing a Brandflasche. Okay. And on the southern flank, though, we have a much more engagement down here. The Soviets push up in the Ostdivision's positions. Being very aggressive here. Molotovs and grenades going out. That's Gebaldeladung. Oh, very good one. Stunning one squad. We also have an Aufklar on the field here. Now Armored Gewehr 43, and he's not a marksman anymore. So you have to be cautious with them. They cannot just stay at long range and fire the same way anymore. Meanwhile, we have a lot of fighting going up here. The Volkssturm are trying to push up on the Soviet positions. Dushke is being called in. Then we also have a unit from Saviki down here. But it looks like the Germans are going to be able to outshoot this position soon, at this rate. That Dushke has to get moving quick. It looks like the Volksgrenadier managed to win out against the Soviets down here. Very good job there for the Volksgrenadier. Sturmgrenadiers pushing up aggressively. Those conscripts gonna die on the open road like that. That's a grenade. Get up behind. Oh, yeah, they're not gonna last long. And they're gonna get shut down on the open. Yeah, there we go. Double Fontoviki has been called in, though. They just need to be utilized. One lone Volksgrenadier is gonna try and go for the fuel. But we have this shock Maxim coming up here. Already having been armed with body armor. That's a dead Volksgrenadier field. Oh yeah. Also, I think many of the Soviet machine guns have been changed with how they set up with their speed before they can fire now. To match with the animation, I believe. So let's see when they start to set up here. Yeah, it looks like that matches the animation speed. That's good to see. They don't fire before the animation is done playing anymore. Once we keep pushing up. Those folks are behind heavy cover though. Which will give them the ability to get a few more shots in, I feel. Grenade going up from the Fortiviki. Volksturm have to pull back, but they might make... Yeah, they did. Ooh, big dead. Panzerjäger holding the field. We also have a cool back on an MG42. Just double Storm Grenadier now for the Waffen-SS. No Volksturm. Now the Dushka is definitely going to be able to cut through practically anything. And that Kulwang will get shut down in seconds, but it's backing off. Okay, well, the center here we have several Osttroppen squads trying to fight. Let's get into positions. Eastern Europeans that's been conscripted by the Germans to fight for them. Just ready to serve as Meatfields and such. They generally had a very varied reputation. Mostly as cowards, or just very bad infantry generally, because they didn't have the same motivation, I guess. Aufklar sitting up here with his Gewehr 43. Providing some recon sight. How much does he actually provide from there? And that's a fair amount, I guess. Oh, we have a flank here from the Storm Grenadier using the small river. But DPM is calling into them. They might die. Yeah, they got mowed down. That's a costly loss for the Germans. You also have a shock trooper squad already arriving on the field for Leutra? I'm not sure how to pronounce that name. DPM quickly trying to get up here, but the Kulwang is going to mow them down with MG42. Oh, yeah, that's not looking good. That's a Fonsevica squad dead. Shock troopers are arriving here shortly, though. They don't have any upgraded weapons, though. Yeah, armed with SVTs, however. Armored car arriving on the southern flank here for the Soviet Union. Armed with a 50 caliber machine gun from the Americans. And a 30 caliber on the back. MG set up inside here. There might be an MG42. You might see a Molotov here from the conscripts. It has to, yeah, it's starting the conscripts. Smart choice. Deny the Molotov. That's generally the wise move to do. Max is sitting inside the building. Loading some incendiary armor piercing. Oh, we also have an anti-tank rifle here in the Grenadiers. Unique upgrade to them if you're playing as Ost. Oh, they didn't shoot the right target though. Armored car doesn't get away, however. Maxim is armed with body armor, but the rifle grenade and the combined firepower is just being too much, I feel. That's just too much German firepower coming in on that building. And they're backing off. On the northern flank, the shock troopers are not doing too well. Oh, yeah! And the machine guns are just being too much for the shock troopers. Now I'm the MT-42 here on the Storm Grenadiers, making them much more lethal. Dushka is trying to be set up here. E-70 arriving for the southern Soviet flank soon. U-2 arriving here for the Ost Division. That could probably be a threat here to the 222 in time. Yeah, that machine gun has to get out of there quick. That's with the 222 on him. Run! Not running very fast though. Yeah, but the conscripts will be able to save it, forcing it to back off. Is it because the body armor is slow? Doesn't actually say. I guess it just retreats slow. E-70 is on the field now. Tank hunters on the field. Not a good choice though with all the Storm Grenadiers with machine guns, I feel. And MG-42s will start to cut into them. Soviets are not doing too well at the moment. Ooh, 222 got a penetration on the T-70. Oh, but one shot from the T-70 kills the 222. Very close. So now the Soviets might have a little bit of an own. They need to get that T-70 repaired, however. Yushkabanga being set up here by the Soviets. I'm saying a very forward infantry headquarters, which could be risky if the Soviets manage to push through. I would personally have set it back here myself, but that's just my opinion. I'm sure Robertus knows what they're doing. Conscript is still there. They're going to... Oh, mine detectors on the Sabers. They already realized there was a minefield, so that's good to see. They'll move down to clear that out and capture the point after repairing the T-70, I wager. Armored Maxims are quickly rushing up here. Manned by shock troopers, which is a unique thing as shock army. Recon has to be cautious. MG-42 managed to get shots in, and that Maxim suppressing it. And pinning it, actually. Building does go down, however. Order also arriving here for the Wehrmacht. Oh, we also have the 3rd SS veterans, unique squad available to buff SS propaganda. You can only have one in the field at a time. Really good squad that can specialize in all kinds of stuff. Also, the Soviets just trying to dig in along the front line now with bunkers. Not sure that's the best choice of action as Shock, however. Shock is not a very defensive commander, to my understanding. Oh, Panzerfaust and the T-70 killing it from the Ostroben. Oh, and the recon squad has been spotted. Yeah, they're getting mowed down now. Maxers are pushing up aggressively here with their Shock Trooper escort. Lots of firepower coming in. Soviet engineers are able to remove the minefield though and preparing to capture the point. Let's see. Moving that mine. Yep, good to see. It should be noted that some German mines can blow up when you're defusing them. Looks like that's happening here. Oh, that's a Blenkorber! They're dying to a Blenkorber! That's a grenade in return. Oh, and they killed him! Only one survivor from the 3rd SS veterans, though. Ooh, very cheeky moves here. The Soviets are trying to get into position, so to get ready to fight.
Shock troops have arrived.
More Shock troopers arriving on the battlefield here. Since both are playing as Shock, we're going to see a lot of Soviet elite infantry. Dushka, Bunker, and actually Dushka unit here. That's a lot of firepower. Smoke grenade going out. That's going to allow the Germans to take the point. But the Soviets on the southern flank is still pushing up with their shock Maxims. They also have a field gun coming out. One of the unique field guns available to Shock. Even it's like a small artillery piece that also just fires normally. 76mm regimental gun. Oh yeah, the Ostroben are not doing too well. Panzer IV F1 is on the field, however. But a CIS gun has also arrived for the Soviet Shock army. And be equipped with the body armor. It's good to see the body armor actually being utilized. It's a surprisingly good upgrade, as it does give them more health and armor. However, they do need to be healed back afterwards, so I think we will see. Oh, apparently not. Huh. I think that Panzer Force is going to be in trouble once that CIS can get sights on it. Currently can't because of the side blockers here. Ooh, it's just wait. It's trying to go the F1 up. We'll soon be in range. Oh no, the guys shot and they revealed themselves. Oh, we also have a 6-man Ostroben squad now, thanks to Veteran to 2. Now to get an extra man. Oh, smoke shell! Very smart! Forcing the 80 gun to back off. Shock troopers have been now equipped entirely with PPSHs though. Impact grenade going out. And that might be a dead Ostroben squad. There's an MG42 up here though. Ooh, high explosive hit the CIS gun, but it's still there. Another smoke shell, good to see. Using its abilities. Always good to see abilities being utilized. Field gun arriving. That's not going to do much against the tank though. It actually does have a heat shell actually. So perhaps it could do something. But I would not count on a regimental field gun being good against tanks. On Taviki, well, Conscript's trying to push up here. But the Soviets do seem to firmly control the southern part of the flank now. Oh, also looks like they grabbed that anti-tank rifle off the ground with this Conscript, so that's a little bit of a mobile light AT.
Panzer Grenadiers standing by.
25 Panzer Grenadiers on the field, unique Panzer Grenadiers available to Ost, one of the best Panzer Grenadier units in the game, I feel. Maybe equipped with LMG-42s and the better Panzerschreck, but also Scope Sturmgewehr, so overall a very good squad. Like one of the best.
Squad, shut it. We are receiving
Bird SS holding up here, and we also have an SS Aufklar on the field here.
return fire.
And with the MP34 instead of the Gewehr 43, making them a little bit more unique. MP34 was apparently very, very popular among some SS units, to my understanding. This gun is doing a little bit of a small barrage. Well, the SIS gun and an OB regimental field gun. Oh, he's trying to take out the machine gun. Makes sense. Well, it is quite reliable doing that. Holy shit, yeah, that's actually quite reliable. It is a good anti-infantry killer. That's kind of its whole purpose. Firing high explosive shells. Pillbox being set up here by the Germans. Remember, pillboxes and bunkers now take up PopCap. They're not just free PopCap wise anymore. Which I personally think is a good change. Shock troopers is going to have a lot to fight for up here. And the bunkers can also lose their gunners now, as you probably saw.
We have lost the defensive structure.
Storm gun on the flank there. That might be the end of these shock troopers. Yeah, that's just too much firepower coming their way. One T-54 is arriving soon, though. Ooh, pillbox has its gun already, so has this field gun. That's really working out really well for the Soviets. Holy shit! Honestly, just good changes. It actually damaged the F1. And again, the F1 actually doesn't have that much armor, so comparably. I need to get more of these. These don't seem bad at all. Not anymore, anyway. On this map, that says secure the northern flank here. So we need to figure out what to do. Another T-34 is being prepared. Just got a penetration there. Oh, its driver's injured. Another smoke shell. Very good to see. I like to see the smoke shells. Field gun might try and get shots in here. Yeah, here comes the barrage. Looks like it's hit that truck though. The F1 manages to back off. Oh, Panzer Grenadier took a shot. That field gun is definitely proving itself. Maybe up here we have the T-34 moving up. Storm Grenadiers might try to flank. I'm just waiting for it to come out. Pack gets a shot in. We also have a Hauptmann here. One of the officers available to the Mthis. So we're still pushing up down here with the shock troopers. Soviets still hold their fuel, but the Soviets could also threaten the German field at the moment, depending on how this goes. Oh, field guns moving a little bit out. Oh, we have double field gun actually. So it's being very aggressive with their OB-25s. Oh, mortars aiming for the SIS, however. They know the mortar's there. They just cannot shoot through the foliage. Oh, they're trying to use the barrage though. Oh, good shot! Well, mortar has to back off. Oh, several mortars arriving here for the Germans. We also have a recon team here now for the Soviets. Armed with a PPSH. Rather than a sniper. But they can be upgraded with a sniper if they get to veteran to 2. Double sniper actually, X2! So they actually become a sniper team if you can get them to veteran to 2 now. That's really cool! That's a nice change. Heavy mortar also coming in for the Soviets, so the southern flank is definitely not looking too hard for the Germans, but the northern flank, the Waffen-SS is slowly just creeping in, but the Waffen-SS doesn't have a lot of tanks at the moment. Actually, they have no tanks. They only have the Panzer IV F1, but the Panzer IV H is arriving shortly, which would be able to be a problem. Ooh, did the Panzergrenadiers die? They did, dropping an MG42, which I think this Osthopen is going to make good use of. And the heavy mortars almost in the field. Very rare that we see an Osthopen squad with an MG42. Probably very lucky for them to have that. Rather than an MG34 or something older. Or something foreign. Artillery going in and the Soviet positions up here. From the Hauptmann, I think. And it looks like it's just gonna be 12 centimeter barrages. Aims to take out that Dushka, I imagine. And the poor little shit. But several T-34s are being prepared.
We are losing territory.
Oh, mortar half-track as well. Very smart choice. Might do a little bit better than the mortars in a prolonged engagement. I guess against something like the OB-25s, potentially, but that is still a fairly big shell. It's a 76mm shell. Oh, T-34's making a move on the northern flank. Pack has to act quickly. Explosive. That's a heat shield loaded. Oh, they killed them, but one T-34 down. Hawkstone couldn't man the pack. They said they're going for the Panzerfaust maneuver. Crowd mower as well. Hawkstone climbing back towards the pack. Lencorp on the way. Yeah, they managed to grab it. But the Soviets trying to flank down here with infantry. Panzerstrike upgraded for the veterans. T-34 moving on in the center flank. Panzer 8 is present. Oh, pack got decrewed by the crowd more, I feel. T-34 has to be very cautious, move around. Panzer 8 against the T-34. It looks like the T-34 has to back off here. Lots of fighting going on here with the mortar shells now landing. Oh, it looks like that mortar half got destroyed actually. Well, that's bad for them. Oh, Panzer 4H got an ammo rack there on the T-34. OB-25s cannot penetrate the front of the H. It has much more impressive front armor. Oh, no wait, that was a heat shell from one of them. And the heat shell from the other kills it. Never mind, that OB-25 is actually doing its job. Very impressive. Now the Soviets on the northern flank is not getting much headway. The veterans are still holding the flank. Using lots of Blencorpus. Oh, and the Soviets are walking through the Blencorpus. You don't want to do that. It's very toxic. As they come out the other flank, the Germans are just going to mow them down.
The enemy has killed another infantry
Oh,
squad.
but Blitz also present to reinforce from. Artillery shells landing. Like 40's gonna get a shot on that. Yeah, they took out the crowd mower. That was very important. Panzerwerfer now present, opening fire on the southern flank. Probably aiming around here. Didn't hit us much, but useful. Meanwhile, the Soviets are trying to push up here to the cutoff point. Very smart. Because that cutoff point would deny the resource from the north. Another Panzerwerfer right here for the propaganda tactics. Hang on, so trying to hunt down that F1. Heavy mortars also putting shells in on the German base. Oh, it's counter barraging actually. That's a very potent counter barrage weapon. You also have a 10.5 centimeter going up here for the German Ostdivision. Panzerwerfer opening fire again. Probably aiming around here again. That looks like it. Do note all the rocket-based artilleries have become far more inaccurate now. So they are much more widespread and potentially not as lethal, which I think is also a good change. Although much heavy artillery got nerfed, which I think the mod kind of needed. Because then T-34 is going to make another move up here. Propaganda artillery going in first. It's not going to do much, I think. Packs are present. Got an over penetration there. Packs should be ready again. No penetration. Explosive loaded. Oh, and it kills the crew. T-34 sack quickly. You also Panzerjägers with a Panzerschreck. Panzerfaust. Destroying the gun on it. Oberblitz struck down. Both Panzerschrecks miss. It's not easy to shoot a tank in motion. Even force backing off for repairs. They should probably just get the repair upgrade at this point if that munitions. Oh, Howard's also set up here by the Soviet Union. Looks like it's orders to counter barrage as well. Well, the German howitzer is also in counter barrage. Everyone's just afraid of firing something. Ow. That's gonna prompt a fair few things. That mortar has to move. Like immediately. Well, I think I was probably to go out so the German howitzer will fire. I think. I'm not firing another one because it was just one shell. Need another shell to be fired in order to fire back. Another Uber surviving here to help reinforce the front line. Instead of Mthis is just digging in, preparing for another tank push. Oh, the Storm Grenadier is doing a good job. Insta-Great going in. Killing the squad entirely! Oh, that's a good sacrifice for a sapper. Like, Storm Grenadier for a sapper, especially one with an MG42. That's a pretty expensive unit. Compared, like. Can now fight a second shell. Oh, now the howitzer shell's going in. Oh, and it hits straight on the German howitzer. It's still alive though. Oh, but a second mortar shell destroys the howitzer. Panzerwerfer opening fire. Still standing around the Soviet forward HQ. So it's like getting shots in on the HQ, but the bullets will not do anything to that. Another mortar howitzer arriving, another Panzer IV-H. Well, it might be the same Panzer IV. No, it's not the same one. I think. Oh yeah, it's not the same one. This one got destroyed by the heat shells. Oh, they're using the OP-25 against the base buildings. Taking out one of the trucks there. Looks like this weapon is surprisingly good. I need to start using that. Holy shit, if I'm playing Shock. Really good unit. I guess a little bit of a nice supplement. Also, the shock troopers trying to have a long-range engagement here. It doesn't really look like you can shoot through because of the building. The Soviet T-34s are almost ready to move again. Oh, looks like the tanks are moving though. Panzers are moving forwards. F1 and H lead the front line. OP-25s have to act fast. Heat shell. No, that's not a heat shell. This is a heat shell though. The Sysgun is moving up to be on the flank though if it can. OP-25 are not doing too well in a prolonged engagement against the Panzer IV-H. Best out on the open road. Oh, another good shot though. This thing is doing a lot of small bit of work. Just doing some criticals. Even force are ready to move, but then it looks like they're going another route. Not going straight into the German front line. Might be a smart move, but they have very little to hold this front line itself. Defense need to keep moving. They want to get closer to the H. You also have a Tiger Ace called onto the field here for the propaganda. You need a unit that can call in. It's basically just a veteran Tiger. H has to probably fall back. That's another T-34. Yeah, there it goes. Gebaldeladung on him. Might disable them. Faced one of them. Panzerfaust didn't go off. And now the Tiger Ace is revealing itself, but penetration from one T-34. Another penetration. One T-34 down there though.
Orders complete.
They are to execute. Although looks like the Soviets are not having the best way to push up at the moment. But the Soviets are still also threatening the Germans, so it's a pretty even fight, I feel. At least for now. Mostly because the Soviets can do a lot of stuff. Oh! Looks like we might see some T-45s at some point. Roy has a lot of resources, so they could get some shock troopers out. That depends on what they want to do. Because currently it looks like Mist Moon is doing most of the fighting. This guy's just shooting at nothing. Maxim has to turn. It's pointing the wrong way. House of Shells are landing around though now. Doom Pioneer's cut down. Tiger Ace needs to get repaired. Repair teams are being upgraded though, so that's good to see. That the house are being set up by the Wehrmacht. Currently the Mthis is still in the hand of the Germans, thanks to the MG42. And the Soviets have made a move for it, I think. One T-345 being prepared. Because of an Aufklar, just keeping an eye on noticing there's not a lot to cover the area. They're scouting out the bunkers for the pack here. So it's making another move here for the cutoff point. They want to deny the resource from the north. Smoke grenade to cover the advance. That's going to be a big deal now, because now the Germans are not going to get any resources northwards for a while. Tiger Ace is actually moving forward without being repaired. Incendiary high explosive shell. Hits the terrain. Infantry moving up. Doesn't penetrate. So it's a going for it. Very risky maneuver. They need to get closer. You don't want to stay. Oh, they're using heat shields. No penetration. No penetration for Miner. Germans have lost a Panzer HQ. Both T-54s down. And the Soviets now hold the cutoff point here for a while. Panzer's pushing up here to try and buy some time.
T-34 ready for combat.
T-45 arriving for one of the shock players. You also see some infantry now being pulled in by Roy. And the KV-2 as well. Tiger is moving forward and wants to try and take the point. Soviet Kapitan in the way. Heat shield loader on the Oba 25. Oh, it's a piercing, but the heat shield hits the Tiger Ace. That's going to force him back off. Looks like it has an exhaust damage. It's going to slow its maximum speed. F1 loading high explosive shell. Doesn't do that much damage with the OBA-25. Or OB-25. D-45 pushing up. This will make short work of the F1. This is also getting shots in. But the Germans are not getting any of the resource from these points at the moment because they're cut off. Handshake is moving up. That could definitely be a big problem for the 85. Like that. Gonna force the 85 to back off. Might be too late for it though. Yeah, too late.
Standing by for setting of command post.
That's why you need infantry with your tanks.
Don't leave me like this.
Most are being set up here to just try and buy some time, it feels like, and keep eyes on the point, but the Germans really need to get that point back, I feel. Maxim trying to get up here. Setting up in the crater. F1 pushing up. Foxsturm as well. Looks like the Foxsturm will be used to try and take the point. And there you go. They're trying to take it. Kapitan pushing up. Oh, B-25 suppresses them. Preventing them from taking the point. KV-2 in the field as well. And big Soviet manpower push coming out. That's a lot of Soviet infantry. They just need to spread out and keep moving. Germans are trying to scatter here. KV-2 pushing up very far on its own. Tiger Ace can get a flanking shot here. Good penetration. KV-2 still turning its gun. Oh, you should not have moved it. Oh, that's a waste of KV-2 there. But the Soviets are still pushing out aggressively. Building here is about to collapse. Soviets are dying out in the open. Lots of artillery shells might be going into soon as well, I feel. Tigers is making some rapid movement here. Needs to be cautious. You also have an H trying to flank the Sysgon. Looks like the 85, yeah, the 85 went down, that's right, it died up there. Oh, but looks like the Germans surrender at this point, probably because the Soviets are just pushing through at this point, and the attrition they can cause is just so much. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the next one, everyone. Bye-bye.